today's topic of discussion is betas use RIZZ. So I'm seeing all over the internet, all these guys, this new term is called RIZZ. It's effectively how to chirp a woman, how to chat a woman up, how to get her to somehow fall in love with you, and all this nonsense. And all these guys are doing so much, putting in so much effort, so much energy, cold approaching women on the streets, speaking to low quality women, and they are thinking that, oh yeah, they are doing good. We're going to be discussing how these beta males are doing so much that these guys here are turning women off, and this is very, very unattractive. So first point is indirect. So a lot of these beta males, what they're doing is, let's say they cold approach. So I've seen in the YouTube videos, they go to a woman, they start speaking to her, and they start chatting her up. These beta males here, instead of saying, oh yeah, I'm trying to fornicate with you and I'm trying to sleep with you outside of marriage and have a relationship with you, these guys here, what they'll do is they'll do the most by trying to chat them up, use all these different chat up lines, and then the woman is giggling, she's laughing, and then she's seeing how this guy here is so desperate, so pathetic, and trying to do all of these kind of things there and try to change his state. So from masculine to feminine, he's trying to change it into a feminine state and trying to be indirect with his communication. This right here is one of the biggest turn-offs for women. So later on down the line, yeah, you'll see how, let's say in the video, yeah, the woman gives the number and then they start to, talk, and then he ends up sleeping with the woman. That just shows you everything, and that tells you everything. So if you're somebody who's a man of value, right, and you're somebody who is working on his purpose and he's providing value to society, he's somebody who's not going to be sleeping with low quality women. Low quality women are low quality women. So why would you, as a guy who's been building yourself up, who's got multiple options with multiple women, sleep with a woman who wants to sleep with you outside of marriage? That woman there isn't of value, is she? A woman of value saves her virginity and saves her intimacy for marriage. Do you understand? So marriage with a partner. Yeah. So traditional women are for traditional men. So these guys here, they're thinking that they've got an accomplishment by getting with a woman and sleeping with a woman and trying their best to get a woman to get on the same page as them. And then they're wondering why these relationships are failing and divorce rates are all-time high. Women are, initiating around 80% of these divorces. So reason being is because these guys that they're with, they're not men. And then these boyfriend-girlfriend relationships as well, it's just not leading to anything which is healthy longevity relationships. So these guys here who are using this indirect form of communication and trying to teach guys on the YouTube, teach guys on the internet, and teach them, oh yeah, this is the way to go about it, and this is how you get women to somehow, get them to start being playful and getting them to start laughing and all these kind of things there, and this is how you get a woman to fall in love. This is complete nonsense, yeah? Beta males use RIZZ and they flirt with women. Masculine men, they don't flirt with women, and they're not trying to chirp up women. They're straight and direct with their communication. So if, for example, you're seeing an attractive woman, and then let's say she's sending you choosing signals, so that's the only thing that I'd recommend to you guys. So if a woman sends you choosing signals, so one of them is, for example, she makes direct eye contact with you, she smiles at you, she is coming into your proximity, she wants to get close to you. Or there's certain other women which is the complete opposite, where they are really nervous and they're really shy and they're really tense, and then they are looking at you from a distance. So what you can do is you can approach them and go to them directly, and speak to them and tell them, oh yeah, what's your name, and then after that she's like, oh yeah, my name's so and so, and then after that you give her your name and then start a conversation from there. And then what you can do is get her contact details, and then once you got her contact details, then you can just let her know, look, I'd like to speak to you for marriage purposes. Yeah. So that right there is respectable. That's a respectable way to do it. And then you can get her contact details, and then she can, provide her dad's details later on down the line, and then you can arrange some sort of meeting with her. Do you understand? So that way there, it's respectful, the family's involved, and it's in the correct way, and it's a traditional way. In that way there, you're going to have a much more healthy longevity relationship, So there's a saying, isn't it? The shorter the fuse, the shorter the fuse, right, the the shorter the relationship's going to be. So that means that, you know, if it was a candle, right? So I'll give you an example. If there's a candle, right, and then it gets burnt really quickly, that relationship's going to be pretty much dissolving quickly. But if that fuse goes on for like hours and, you know, spends a long period of time for it to, you know, melt, that right there is a relationship which is going to be lasting a lot longer, isn't it? So that right there is going to be a healthy longevity relationship. So be direct in your communication, guys. Never be indirect with your intentions with a woman. Yeah. So when a woman sees that, woman senses that, and she says, "Oh, this guy here is really masculine." Women are very indirect with their communication, and they're indirect with how they behave around men. You guys need to understand this. So when men get confused, guys, nowadays I'm looking at these comments, right? They're saying, "Oh yeah, you know, why doesn't a woman tell me that she likes me and tell me out like, oh yeah, I want to be with you," or whatever the case is. You guys need to realize, yeah, women cannot do that because they fear rejection. Okay, this is what don't seem to understand this. Women, they cannot stand rejection. Yeah. So if you just straight away just say to a woman, "Oh yeah, you know what, I don't think you're compatible with me. I don't think you fit my requirements." Like myself, I've done this to quite a lot of women. Like, you know, speaking to them, right? I'll send them my requirements. These women here, right? We was getting on this and that. Yeah. As soon as I send my requirements, these women are like, "Nah, you know, sorry, I'm not going to be interested." Because they've read the requirements, they know full well they don't tick them and they don't fit them. So that right there, they fear getting rejected, yeah? So then they quickly say, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to be able to continue." Do you understand? If you just reject a woman, that just destroys her ego. Literally, it destroys them. Especially these women who are like really attractive and stuff like that. They can't stand the fact is when a guy just says, I don't think you're good enough for me," or, you know, "you don't fit my requirements," or "you're not up to scratch." You know, these guys need to realize this, yeah, that women are never going to be direct like that and say, "Oh yeah, I really want you." And the ones who are direct in their communication and say, "Oh yeah, I really want you and I want to be with you," those are the women who are like masculine tendencies within them. Yeah, those are the type of women who you want to avoid anyway. Because a woman, in order for her to be really feminine, she's not going to be very direct and just cold approach and be like, "Oh yeah, I really want you and I want to be with you." That right there is just like a masculine man's gonna, you know, he's gonna be like, "What's going on here?" You understand? So a woman's gonna be indirect, but you can sense it based off of her energy and based off of her behavior. Now, there's certain characteristics where a woman is, let's say, not interested, where she's not bothering trying to speak to you, and she's not even, it just goes back to her energy. She's not trying to show any type of positive energy around you. She doesn't even acknowledge you're there. So if you're in the gym, for example, or if you're in, you know, your workplace or wherever it is, or if you're at the university or whatever the case is, yeah, and then let's say you're coming up to her and you speak to her, and then she's not even acknowledging that you're even talking to her, and she's not even trying to speak to you back. That's right there. It just shows you this woman is not interested. Do you understand? So a woman will show some level of interest based off of her energy levels, and you'll be able to sense that. You do understand? And it goes back to experience, guys. You guys need to get yourselves in the game, and you're going to need to experience it, and then you're going to be able to know the women who are interested in you and the ones who are not interested in you. Like majority of the women, like when you've leveled yourself up in all areas of life, like I honestly believe this, and this is where a lot of the, you know, content creators, they may disagree with me. I honestly believe that you can get pretty much all women to have some level of attraction towards you. So the women who are, let's say, single women, or the women who are in the relationships or whatever, so their relationships are not going well or whatever. If you're somebody who's a real man of value and you actually excel in all areas of life, yeah, that woman there, she'll eventually start to catch feelings for you. Reason being is because, you know what the saying is, so there's a hadith about it, so it says, so if the man and the woman are left by themselves, the third person is the shaitan, so the devil. So that's what it is, guys. You guys who are real men of value, you can attract pretty much all women. So it just goes back to it, longevity. So women fall in love at a longer period of time. So they need to spend an excess amount of time around you, and then they can assess your character and be like, "Okay, this is a man of value." Do you understand? And that's where their feelings start to really go up and they start to fall in love with you. So that's that point. Next point is fake. So a lot of these guys, right, they're just fake. There's no other two ways around it. They've got fake personalities, fake confidence, they've got fake beta tendencies, they've got fake mannerism, everything's just fake about them. Their dress code is fake, everything. and then the way they're communicating is fake as well, and they're trying to copy other people. This is what these kind of guys do, and this is why women sense this as well. Women are not stupid, you know. Don't think for a second, right? A lot of guys think in today's society, women are just like these, you know, they call them bimbos and just dumb people. Women are not dumb. They're very, very socially aware. Reason being, God has given them that strength there over men. So there's certain strengths and weaknesses that men have got. There's certain strengths and weaknesses that women have got. Yeah, women are very socially aware. So when they see a guy who's putting on a front, putting on all this fake behavior and trying to get her to fall in love with him, that right there, you're forcing the vibe and you're forcing the energy there, and you're effectively trying to be who you're not. Do you understand? You want to always be who you are around women. So then that way there, woman takes it or leaves it. She either sees it as that right there, I take it or leave it. But guess what? That respect's going to be there. So the respect there is going to be there, and she's going to be like, okay, this right there, you know, even though I'm not attracted to him, for now anyway, I still respect him. Do you understand? So that's what it is. It goes back to respect, guys. You want to always have that respect with all women. All women who you interact with and you communicate with, you need to have that level of respect for yourself and level of respect where you do not compromise on that, and you do not try and flip and change your nature and try and use these chat up lines and, you know, flirtatious lines. I know some of these beta males and these fake guys, they're coming up to a woman straight away saying, oh yeah, you look really beautiful, and you just pump in all of this validation to her. Woman's looking at this guy, is like, whoa, you haven't seen no other woman who's attractive, no? And that woman there anyway, a lot of these women who are attractive women anyway, they're very insecure, and then they lack confidence, they lack self-esteem. So when they see a guy who's like, oh yeah, he's just saying I'm beautiful, that gives them an ego boost. And that in her brain, that tells her, right, that this guy here is not used to dealing with other women who are at her level of beauty standard and higher. Do you understand? A man of value knows full well, right? I'm not going to come up to a woman and just be like, oh yeah, you look really beautiful. He's not going to be, you know, attracted to that. He's going to assess the woman based off of her internal qualities. So how feminine she is, how cooperative, friendly, caring, loving, how she is around other guys. Is she somebody who's promiscuous, or is she somebody who is, you know, of quality, and she's somebody who keeps herself to herself? You know, these are the things that men of value look at. Yeah, these low quality women, they're just going to be chatting up random guys and talking to guys and entertaining these loser type guys. So that's that point. Next point is feminine. So these guys here, they're feminine by their behavior and by the way they communicate with people. So when they're communicating with women, they're feminine. They're indirect with their communication. They're not direct. They're not telling them straight, oh yeah, I'm trying to fornicate with you. Because that's what it is. These guys here, that's what they're about. They're all about just fornication, sleeping outside of marriage, and, you know, degrading these women and to violate these women and take their rights away from them. These feminine type guys are not men of value, and these guys here do not get long-term relationships. They're showing you from all these YouTube videos about how they're chatting up all these low-quality women. If you look at the women, I'm looking at these women. Look at the way they're dressed, for example. Like that straight away. Just look at the woman. I'm like, this woman here is dressed provocatively, and then you think, oh yeah, I'm speaking to her and I'm getting her contact details, and then I end up sleeping with her, and then you think to yourself that you're somewhat of value. You're not of value. These guys here, none of these guys are of value. So these kind of examples here, yeah, and these loser type guys here, they're going to keep doing what they're doing, and then they're not going to be able to have longevity relationships. Like myself on this channel over here, I'm about longevity relationships. I'm about filtering women and filtering them of quality. So the low quality women, you can get low quality women. Like this way is, if you're really a man of value, you can get pretty much majority of women. But it's about filtering the women who are actually of value and the ones who are not of value. Because you are effectively working on your purpose. You provide a lot of value to society. So let's say your value is all the way up here, yeah? You're not going to be entertaining options when women are all the way down here, so all the way at rock bottom, yeah? You're not going to be entertaining that, right? Reason being is because your value is all the way up here. You're trying to get a woman who's around that level, because you're never really going to get a woman who's at your level anyway, because you're providing more value to the relationship. That's what it goes back to. So it goes back to marriage market value, which I'll be discussing in another video. But long story short, marriage market value is the ultimate, somebody who's an ultimate masculine man. So he excels in all areas of life. So mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Do you understand, guys? And that right there is somebody who all women pretty much desire. So that's that point. And then the final point is low quality. So that's what it is. So these beta males, they're beta, and they are low quality themselves, and they are attracting low quality women. These low quality women are nothing to be proud of and nothing to be hyping themselves up over. Yeah, if a woman looks supposedly good looking, yeah, a man of value knows he can get women at that level, and he pulls them kind of women there on a regular basis, because he knows full well that he knows what kind of man he is, and he doesn't need to put up front for that. So these women here, yeah, who have got makeup on, who are dressing provocatively, that's not going to be something which he's going to be attracted to, because he's somebody who's a man of value, and he knows full well that, okay, this woman here is dressing provocatively, but I've got another woman over here, right, who's dressing modestly, and she keeps herself to herself, and she dresses appropriately, and she behaves appropriately, and she's got a lot of feminine qualities about her, and then they both looks-wise look attractive. Who's he going to go with? He's going to go with that woman there, isn't it? That woman there who's actually of value. So that's the type of woman he's going to be trying to filter. And then these other women who are low quality, he's not going to bother with the low quality ones. And these beta males are just hyping themselves up, and they're thinking, oh yeah, you know, these women here, the more I can get of a body count. I'm seeing in the red pill community, for example, they're trying to get their numbers up. They're sleeping with low quality women, and they're like, oh yeah, I need to get with like 5 women, 10 women, 20, 50, 100, 200. It goes on and on and on. Until it gets to a point where they are so, they've deprived their soul of so much, you know, healthier, that they end up, their souls become dead. That's what it is. Their souls become dirty, they become filthy, become degenerate, and you can just look from their eyes, yeah? Look at their eyes, right? And you see from within them, these red pill dogs, yeah? Look at their eyes, yeah? And you can see there's no soul in there, yeah? They're just completely just dead from the inside, yeah? So that's what it is, guys. You guys need to see that as like, these guys here, these guys are not men in society. These guys are not men of value. Look at the best example, which is Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Look at the deen side of it. Look at the men who are from previous generations. These are the men of value, yeah? None of these clowns, none of these jokers, yeah, coming along and saying, oh yeah, this and that, and talking all this nonsense, yeah? And then women are just seeing this as well, and then they get turned off anyway, later on down the line anyway. It's like, then these women here, these are the same women who end up disrespecting them, end up violating them, end up cheating on them, and end up doing all types of things to them, you know? So that's what it is, guys. So just to wrap up, these beta males are indirect with their communication. They're not direct with their intentions, and they're not direct in how they're approaching women. They're using all these chat lines, all this nonsense, all this, you know, BS, and trying to get a woman to fall in love with him, and try and get her to, whatever he somehow says something to her, then that's going to make her, you know, feel a certain way. This is complete nonsense, yeah? That right there, yeah, is a short fuse, yeah, and that gets burnt quickly. So she may get a temporary little boost, yeah, when it comes to her ego, but then later on, yeah, that respect starts to go down. And that respect goes down, right? That's when you're going to start to see the disrespect them. That's when you're going to start to see a woman show her true colors, and then you're going to see how that beta male starts to flip and cry, and he's going to end up starting to, you know, wanting to leave that relationship, because that guy there didn't do it correctly. The way you start is the way you finish. How you start at the beginning and how you start correct here, later on, that's how you're going to end up finishing. So these guys here, right, they're starting with wrong intentions. Their intention is to fornicate with a woman. Guess what? You're going to get a low quality woman. That's what's going to happen. The next point after that was fake. These guys here are fake. They put on a front. They change their character. They ain't got no character anyway to begin with. They ain't got no unique character. They ain't got no confidence. They ain't got nothing. They put on a front. And then women sense this as well. Women are very socially aware as well. So when they see that as well and they put on a front, yeah, guess what? Their woman's ego is getting boosted there. And she's seeing it as, oh, look at this guy. He's coming up. He's so desperate. He's so desperate to use these sharp lines. And then woman's just playing him along and stringing him along. So you never want to be fake, guys. You want to be straight and direct, and you want to be your own unique character and be who you are. Don't be that type of guy who's looking at these loser type guys and thinking, oh, okay, I need to use these chat lines, because none of that is going to work on a woman, especially women who are of value. They can straight away spot guys who are fake and guys who are real. And the next point after that was feminine. So these beta males are very feminine in their nature. So the way they dress, a lot of them dress in like bright colors. They dress tight clothing, you know, put so much emphasis on external. They haven't worked on the internal. The internal is complete garbage. It's trash. It's disgusting. They ain't worked on their spiritual side of it either. They haven't worked on their God connection. They haven't put God first, And then guess what? These kind of guys here are attracting low quality women, and then they're becoming feminine. And then guess what? That woman there is going to start to become masculine. And she's going to start to become argumentative later on, and she's going to start to disrespect him, and so on. And then the final point was low quality. So these beta males who are using these chat lines, these are all lines which are only going to be able to get low quality women. They will not be able to get high quality women, and they will not be able to attract women who are actually of value. So these relationships are going to end up failing, and then these guys here are just going to continue being lost individuals. So that's pretty much it. I hope that makes sense, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.